House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Half a day, everybody. Welcome back. I don't know if we're going to be able to top last week's episode, to be completely honest with you, because Liz was on the road in Alaska, like fresh from, catching some amazing salmon in a stream there and actually passing by a moose. I know a lot of you have like talked about that. That was in real time, by the way. And Gina was over in Namo Falls. I'm glad to see both of them are dry and on terra firma here. So, but Liz, where are you today? Because you're still off island.
Oh, I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm heading home in a few days.
That's a restaurant, I'm assuming, right? That's beautiful.
Yes, it's the Nines. Yes, we just had Peter's birthday dinner.
That's right. It is Chef Peter Duenas' birthday today. So happy birthday and blessings to you, Chef Pete.
I'll let him know.
He's only 35, Jason.
There you
I
go.
want to tell you
As
guys
as
that.
we all are. And
Yep, yep.
No, we all are.
okay,
Yep.
real quick though, Gina, what feedback have you gotten off of those waterfalls that provided such a wonderful backdrop for you last week?
You know, if I'm getting feedback on Instagram or on Facebook, I have to admit I'm really bad about checking those things. So let me just apologize to everybody who has made comments. I don't I'm bad about it. The only time I go in there is when somebody calls me to say, "Hey, I messaged you and you haven't responded." Oh shoot, let me go look.
There you
So
go. Well,
I
I'll manage
apologize
your
about
social media
that.
too. I'll take over.
Thank you.
There
I
you go.
need
Okay,
that.
but as for the current moment and a very very serious topic now, we try and like shift into like serious business mode, everything. Gina, you actually shared a rather intriguing PDF with our little group chat between the three of us about a piece of proposed legislation that freshman Senator Shelley Calvo put out relative to wills and how property will be transferred upon the untimely passing of a loved one.
It
Hello, we still got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought and I don't see you at all. So oh, there you are. Okay. So this is public law 3813, and it actually is better than what the will puts in place,
Mhm.
because this is the transfer TOD, transfer on death deed, that she introduced. She talked about this a little bit. And the reason this is important, and I know if you pull up a copy of this, it's been signed into law. So
Up here
you
it
can
is.
go to the legislature website and you can download it, or you could reach out to Jason. He could send it to you, or you can even reach out to us and we'll send it to you. But this specifically, the 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 purpose of this bill, Jason, is to bypass probate. If
Mhm.
you have a will, you still have to go through probate, and the judge has to enforce and implement the terms of your will. But this is to bypass all that. This is for the family member who already knows what they want to do with their property, and they actually want to prepare this deed so that that property will automatically transfer to your loved one or
I don't think
to
people
somebody.
really realize or put enough value in how substantial this is, Liz, for our community, where, as we've talked about, because of, we're such a tight-knit family community anyway. But then the converse of that is then when, property disputes happen between family members, it's 9,000 different types of drama and everything. So this is really going to solve a lot of problems, I would assume.
Yes, it does, because if, let's say, if John and I were looking at it, then we can decide that a certain child would get this property. We prepare the deed, and it bypasses probate. It makes it simpler. Normally, when you go to probate, you have to hire an attorney. It's a process, and you have to pay the attorney. And then even through the process, there are court fees involved, and a percentage, of course, goes the value of the property. A percentage goes to the attorney, and there's a percentage that goes to an administrator. So there are costs involved with the probate process. Now, this bill allows an individual who's receiving the property to just take it without having to go through the cost involved with the probate. So it's a very good bill. The other factor is, if I were to give you property, Jason, and let's say I put it in writing, and before my death, I changed it and I gave it to Gina instead, I have the ability to change my mind through that process for deeding the property. But at my death, the property will go to you. Or if I change my mind, I could deed it back to Gina, and then it'll go to Gina upon my death. So it is the thought behind it was very good. It just saves individuals the cost of an attorney, the cost of the court fees, all of that. It makes it so simple.
Gina, do you
Yeah.
happen to know, are the number of probate cases that show up in our court system significantly higher than similar sized markets or even bigger markets like in the States? Like New Orleans. I know you guys do a
Jason,
lot of stuff in Louisiana.
I don't know. We don't track that at all, but I can tell you that I have a lot of probate. I have a lot of families that I help that are going through the probate process.
I know a lot of
And
people have told me it's way higher here, but that's just, hearsay.
I I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a means of being able to compare different areas to give you that information. But
Mhm.
what we're trying to promote is the idea that you bypass all that. I you're not gonna eliminate all the fees, but by utilizing this mechanism, you're going to eliminate a substantial amount, and not just the fees, time. I'm working with a gentleman, a young man who his mom passed away, his dad passed away, and I'm helping him. I'm not even selling the property. I'm just helping him with his probate, and we're on our fifth year.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, it isn't just money, although that, this bill helps with saving you a lot of money. It's also the time that goes into all of this.
I was
I
gonna
have,
say, that there
yeah,
is that very cliche saying, especially when it comes to the passing of a loved one, and we've all experienced that in a very direct way. But that saying is, time heals all wounds. When it comes to probate, the longer it gets stretched out, like it actually just exacerbates the problem.
it absolutely does. I have one family that I'm helping while we are in probate. Two of their family members, or no, we got approval to do the sale. And while we were waiting for that approval, two other family members passed away. So by the time we got that approval, two of the family members that were part of that estate have passed. Now we have to go back and open probate for them so
Mm.
that we can move forward. And I think we're into our eighth month of waiting for that process. So it's a never ending cycle. It's terrible. And I think if for those of you out there who are trying to plan ahead, get a copy of this bill, read through it, and then go sit down with your attorney to see how they could help you. You're still going to save a lot of money, but and time as well. But
Yeah,
you
so
still need
everybody
your
everybody
attorney.
watching right now, jump on your web browser and hit guamlegislature.com, and the bill is bill number 23, again by freshman Senator Shelley Calvo. Liz,
Yeah,
you know
It's
who
Gina,
actually, hey Jason, it's actually Public Law 38-13.
there you go. Yeah,
So they could
if
look
you
for
want to read
that.
it as passed, yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
Gina,
already, yeah, passed.
Gina and I, of course, our role is to provide the information, but it's always good to talk to your attorney. Get good advice from your attorney. They handle the legal aspects, but you know, talk to them and say, "Hey, how does this bill affect my estate, and what can I do with it?" But we do recommend they read it and then talk to your attorney and at least see how this would affect yours, because many of us have trusts, and now that this bill has come into play, it may affect what we do with our trust as well,
Mhm.
in terms of how we deed properties to our family members to make it easier.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
was gonna
point.
say, who's probably in favor of this too, just based on the amount of work it's going to take off their plate are the judges. Like I'm guessing, right? Because I mean, they do things by the book. I mean, they're very, very good at what they do. All of our judges are, and they want to see justice be done. But of course, if you can take off some of like their workload, that just helps them. And if
Absolutely.
the probate caseload is as substantial as it is, just because like these things have not been documented, that's going to help the entire system.
Yeah, Gina and I handle a lot of probate cases where family want to sell their property. And then there are times where it gets complicated or that there's a dispute in the family. So it would behoove individuals to really look at who do they want the property to go to, and to avoid the complication of disputes, later on after they
Yeah,
pass.
Mhm.
and probate. Yeah.
Yeah, Gina, that is kind of like the kind of unfortunate thing about like our community, right? for many Pacific Islanders, like not every, I mean, let's be real, right? Not everybody can afford a lawyer. Not everybody can afford complicated like processes to put a trust together and knows how to speak the language or has the time to go through that, right? But those very same people, a lot of those families that don't make a lot of money have a lot of land that they pass to each other.
Yeah, and whether
Oh,
you here and here's the deal, whether you could afford to meet with an attorney or deal with these complications, they're going to come up. And they typically come up whether you could afford it or not because you
Mm,
don't plan in advance. I think this public law kind of it should inspire you to plan in
mhm.
advance, so that you don't have your family members don't have to deal with this. But it means you have to make decisions in advance. And I really hope and pray that this bill or this public law inspires you to do that so that you could help and we keep talking about passing it on to your children or your heirs. You know, you can pass property on to anybody for any reason. I mean, no one's going to question you about your reason. By then, let's face it, by the time the questions come up, I'm gone. It's done. Live with it,
mm.
right? But it just, I really hope it inspires you to make decisions about your properties and decide what you're going to do with it so that you can avoid the time and costly hurdles of going through probate.
Do you, was the real estate community, was there any dialogue with any of the policymakers, like prior to this bill becoming public law, like going into it, just seeking your input, your insight?
I think our legislative committee, we did provide input. I mean, we support the intent, but at the same time, we just wanted to make sure there are no legal ramifications. And then, of course, the bill has passed, and that's why it always would help if you just consult someone to say, hey, I've read the bill. What's your feedback on it? But we were in support of the bill, but we wanted to make sure they did consult an attorney before passing the bill. So obviously, they may have done something to that effect. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have passed the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap on a more positive note, right? I mean, this is a positive thing for our
This
community.
is
Like we have to
positive.
say
It
that,
sure
right? But
is.
okay, Liz, in the great state of Oregon, right? What's on your plate tonight for dinner?
Oh, we had lamb. Peter had ribeye steak, of course, because he loves the fat on the ribeye steak.
Oh, the mantika, right?
The mantika, of course, the
Oh,
Guamanians, we love mantika.
Well, we all know now it's really good for you, right?
Yes,
So Peter's eating healthy.
yes, he
there you go.
definitely is.
Okay,
Hey,
how about
we're-
vegetables though, Liz? We gotta eat our veggies.
oh, we had asparagus, honey.
Ooh, asparagus spears are great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But hey, we're bringing back lots of salmon.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay,
Nice.
so can't wait for that. So, Liz, travel home safely. We always wish you and Uncle John and the rest of the family like a wonderful trip. And once again, a happy birthday to Chef Peter. He's a very, very good friend of our show, and he's been a good guy for a long time. The outdoor chef.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I'll let.
amazing. Happy birthday to Pete.
Thank you.
Okay, and Gina, if I don't see you on Zoom, then I'll see you at the waterfalls, or I'll see you when I'm answering your direct messages on Instagram.
That's right. Okay, have fun, everybody. See you
Okay, bye
soon,
Bye.
everyone.
Liz.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.